sort of our society is really built on this restrictive or exclusive conservation kind of mindset where, you know, we say in order to protect something, we have to leave it alone, or we have to sort of fence it off and keep humans away because humans can't be trusted, you know, like. So yeah, we've developed these national parks and these kind of conservation areas and conservation mindsets where the only people that go in and do conservation are industry people that are then paid from some outside source. They're not paid from the place in which they're doing their conservation work. They definitely don't live there. So the money from that is coming from other sectors of industry. For someone to go in and manage a national park, you know, there's I guess government agencies and taxation set up to funnel money from other industries into that to preserve that. And, you know, as we're aware, that's not a sustainable financial kind of system if it's, you know, if that system's being propped up essentially by the destruction of other systems. So, you know, large-scale industrial agriculture, large-scale habitation of cities and dwellings, and large-scale industry, you know, the whole just consumer capitalist industries of producing capital out of exploiting and damaging this set of resources over here for humans to then go and protect this other set of resources over here, paid for by essentially the blood money of the industrial agriculture, you know, the wheat grain and all the kind of things that destroy country over here to protect this country over there. And yeah, so I call that an exclusive conservation or restrictive conservation. And the opposite is the reciprocal conservation, and that's, you know, traditional cultures all around the world, including our ancestors, practiced. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. You know, it's only in the last, probably couple of last 100 years that we've really moved away from that reciprocal conservation and started with the Industrial Revolution, you know, that localization of wealth generation happening in, you know, industrial areas and industrial centers and big mines, and that we've then been able to have this like surplus capital and a bit of, I guess, an awakening of, wow, we're looking at that river, oh, we trashed that, oh, we better go protect that one, we haven't trashed that one yet, quick, lock the humans out, put the fence up, do the thing, let's keep trashing that one to pay for protecting that one kind of mentality. But before that, we lived in this reciprocal conservation where I'm just living here by this water hole, I'm living here on this patch of dirt, and I'm living here with these trees, these animals, these communities. If I want to survive, I have to look after this country here, but also this country here has to look after me. I can't look after that one there and expect this one to provide everything for me that I need. So I need to just be here in this one place, or localized places, and just kind of, you know, if I damage this water source here, like we got this little kitchen right here. If we allow our sullage water to go into that creek there and start increasing the turbidity and algae and nitrogen levels and what have you, you know, that won't be a clean place for us to wash. And actually, in the past, I've drank from this creek here. At the moment, because of the water mining and other external forces that we do also need to control, which kind of ruin that whole exclusive conservation mindset anyway, because how can you protect here if you're trying to sustain, say, the city of Brisbane and mine all the water from here to sustain it, but then at the same time protect this with the economy of Brisbane? You know, this is coming under some maybe national park over there and stuff they're trying to protect, but they're robbing all the water because they've got this economy they've got to protect in Brisbane of all these people living in tightly knit houses. So when I'm here on the land, and if I didn't have that external influence of the water mining ruining this water source and dropping its level and, I guess, increasing its turbidity and drinkableness, you know, I could live in a reciprocal conservation here where by managing this water resource and not damaging it, but drinking from it and washing myself in it in a respectful way, you know, soaps, sunscreens, oils that are going to damage it, then that's a reciprocal conservation there just with the water. I'm drinking it and I'm going to notice if it tastes bad. I'm going to go, oh. And if it does taste bad, I'm going to take a lot of effort to make it good again. And so that's a reciprocal conservation where you're directly connected. You know, and a good example is the yam or all sorts of sort of native plants, but I like the yam one because, you know, when you harvest the yam, if you're clever, you don't just rip it out, rip the roots out, rip everything out, go eat it. You carefully dig around it. You carefully take maybe the largest tuber, or maybe you leave that as the mother, different species, different and cultures, different techniques. But maybe you take the largest tuber and you eat that and you leave other seed tubers behind. Perhaps you take the largest tuber and you slice just the top off and replant that top that's got the vine coming out. But also while you're doing that, when you're digging, you're creating a more tilled soil and a better environment for that yam to grow into a big, fat, healthy yam. And, you know, I guess the same is here where we put some food scraps that we've from our kitchen back into our food garden. That's a reciprocal conservation. You know, a permaculture garden is built on reciprocal conservation. That's, you know, you have your toilet, your composting toilet, you sit your human manure and then you reuse it later on to, so that human manure ideally came from the food that you grew in the garden and then goes back into the garden. So that's a reciprocal conservation. Exclusive conservation is, say, a sewer treatment plant where you say, okay, we're going to grow all the food over here and then we're going to ship it over here to the people, and then the people are going to shit in some weird water toilets that are going to then concentrate that nutrient in and put it anaerobic, which makes it toxic, septic, and then have to deal with it with a chemical facility to pump it into the ocean where it causes all sorts of ecological problems. But then at the other end of the chain is that you've got to have some nutrients to go into feed your food that you keep taking nutrients out of there in the form of food and eating it and then putting the nutrients over there in a concentrated toxic form. You've got this linear system that doesn't line up, and that's also exclusive conservation. And through that system, they're then somehow trying to funnel off some national parks or marine park funding to go and protect where we're pumping the sewage. But we've kind of we've got a broken link here anyway. And so by bringing those two ends around together to form the circle of reciprocal conservation, where our poo makes our food, makes our poo, or any other form like that, then yeah, you're in a better place to be empowered to protect yourself, protect the environment, and let the environment protect you in return. Empower each other.